Over this ocean, 1607, Jamestown. 1620, Plymouth Rock. Here was America. Out of the native oak and pine, we built a house, a church, a watchtower. We cleared a field, and there grew up a colony of free citizens. We carved new states out of the green wilderness: Virginia, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Carolina. Then came the first test in the defense of that liberty. 1775, Lexington. Our leaders spoke our deepest needs. Colonists are by the law of nature free-born, as indeed all men are. It is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government. In the midst of battle, it happened. The idea grew. The idea took form. Something new was expressed by men, a new and revolutionary doctrine, the greatest creative force in human relations. All men are created equal.
So when I think about white supremacy is both a descriptive and a normative idea. Descriptive. When I say descriptive, it describes how a society functions. It describes what we see in society. So we are, in the United States of America, a culture that comes out of a white supremacist set of ideas. The way that our institutions have historically functioned have placed white people above everybody else. The United States was initially a white country, explicitly so. That's what we mean when we say white supremacy descriptively. And then there's also a normative idea. Should we be a white supremacist country? Should we be a country that's built for white people's enjoyment? Should we be a country that's run by white people? There was a long period of time that was abundantly the case. The court said it. Our Constitution basically made it so. So we have a country that at one point was described as white and was embracing an idea that it should be that way. What do we have now? Now we have a country that normatively has repudiated that idea. So we're no longer a country in which we say this is built for white people. But descriptively, is it still a country in which whiteness is a privilege? Whiteness creates benefits. Whiteness creates material differences between the lives lived by people who are born white and the lives lived by people who are not. So our challenge is to be able to grasp onto the idea that we don't want to be a white supremacist country anymore, normatively, accept that, and then look at our society to see, is it still functioning that way? And if it's still functioning that way, then we still have work to do. So white supremacy expresses itself in many different ways, both across history and across institutions. So is the Constitution a white supremacist document? Well, if you look to see who ratified the Constitution, who the Republic was built for, who was the Republic not built for, then yes, the Constitution itself has been a white supremacist document. Sometimes in my class, when I teach civil rights, I have all the students stand up. And I say, what we're gonna do is create a constitutional convention that mimics the Constitutional Convention in 1776. But first, we have to exclude the people who couldn't have participated in this moment. So first of all, everybody who was born female, sit down. So about half the class sits down. Then I say, everybody who is non-white, sit down. Another half of the class sits down. I say, everybody who doesn't own property, sit down. And then they sit down. And then we have a handful of people left, and I say, okay, now we can begin the process of building this republic. Now, usually the people who are left are white men, usually my older, students. And I ask, is this a moment of building a republic that is egalitarian? Is it a moment of building a society in which everybody is included? The answer is clearly no. But what kind of country did we build from just that handful of people? Can we call that a white supremacist country? Well, I don't see how you don't say it, how you don't call this a country that is grounded in its initial moments in an expression of white supremacy. We are the ones who are qualified to rule this country. We are the ones in whose interest this country is built. And so our challenge is looking squarely at that now and ask, what are the dimensions of current society that can be traced back to that moment? That's the project, acknowledging the white supremacist roots and then asking, where do we have to go to cleanse the country of this unfortunate moment? And we can't do it if we can't talk about that.